Hi Holly, I'm looking at your personal logo. It looks good. I like the way that this turned out. I think you have your artboard set up correctly. It is 3 by 3. Your document color mode is in CMYK, which is perfect on both documents. One thing I'm noticing is that each logo is a little bit different. So one way of working around that would be to start on one logo. Typically the black one would be the first one that you start on, and then you get that looking the way you want it to. Oops. So, and one thing about this too that I notice is like on the black one anyway, like this part isn't quite centered, so we'd need to maybe center that a little bit inside of the shape. And then, make sure that this is centered well underneath too, and maybe even center everything. Just do a Command G or a group in your properties panel when everything is selected, and then you can just kind of center everything on the artboard itself too. I might actually like the squatter looking shape, so I think the color one might be better. This needs to be centered a little bit better, but this is looking pretty centered to me. Maybe this could be brought up and over a little bit, or actually the way you had it was probably pretty good. Where the bottom of the D and the bottom of the L line up. And we can actually push shift on our keyboard, get both selected at the same time, and then use this alignment over here or over here to the bottom edge. And we can kind of bring them up and maybe even bring this up a little bit. And one thing that might help with this line here is making it the same or close to the same thickness as the D maybe. So like maybe just bringing it down a few points over here in the properties panel, maybe 6. Bringing it up a little bit, making sure that it's center aligned to the D, so we can push shift on our keyboard, use the align through the horizontal center, just to make sure, and then we can even group that together with the group button there. Yeah, so this could maybe be bigger, potentially. I'm not sure if that really would help a ton, but and maybe this should go over just a little bit more. I don't want it to get too close to the edge there. And I think the black stroke around this shape is not necessary, so we can actually get rid of that here. Just put it on 0, so no stroke. I think I like the color combinations that you're using. It does remind me of agriculture, but I do think that this should probably be the blue color. Because this isn't going to show up. This light color is not going to show up on a lot of things. So we can actually use the eyedropper tool with this selected and just make it the same color blue so that it, sticks out a little bit more. And another thing, you could potentially do a font pair. So lazy D farming ink. You could do, this could be, maybe a script or something playful, I'm not quite sure, or something that looks kind of lazy. I'm not sure if there is something like that out there, but you would just have to experiment. And then maybe this could be, actually I'm kind of liking this font for the farming ink, and maybe the lazy D could be the script D type, or kind of playful font. I'm not quite sure. Maybe something like that. And it doesn't have to be on 2 lines. It could be on 1 line. But we might want some contrast in the size, so maybe we'd bring this up in size, just the lazy D. And then we could, make this, I'm not saying that this is a great font pair. It takes a while to figure out a good font pair, but just an experiment. Maybe something like that would be good. I kind of like that. And then let's center it on the artboard itself as well, and try and get this looking visually centered. Maybe something a little bit more like that would be really good. I don't think what you did was bad, but, and then we can save this, and then we can do a file save as, and then we can name this black and white. I might have to put a 2 on the end because you already have one named black and white, but save that, push OK, and then we can convert everything to black. So, I mean, we just have to go through here, and I'm punching in 100% black in there. And then this would be, you know, these would all be white. All the other items. I can't tell if I have everything selected, but we can also use the, here, let's grab it like this. All 3 of these, let's make the fill color. It's not really letting me do it, but in the swatches, but I can make it white here. And then we can make, this is grouped, so I can ungroup it and then make the stroke white. And then just, you know, make this, double click on there. And we'll just make it 100% K, which is black. Just using my keyboard to get that. And then you can save this out. This is saved out already as black and white. Just save that. And that's how you would convert it to black and white. You wouldn't make 2 separate documents and then try to make your logo twice. You just make your logo once and then change it. So that's all I wanted to show you. Just maybe a font pair, making sure that both the black and white and the color version of your logo match. And that's pretty much all I was going to show you in this video, I guess. But I do think that this is a nice logo. I do think that this would work well for farming. And even in the stroke here, you could experiment. If you click on the word stroke in the properties panel, you can experiment with like different stroke types, I believe, or borders maybe. Oh, maybe that's not on here. You might have, that might be an InDesign. But I bet you could look it up and find some borders. Like you could put, let's see, you could make this a little bit bigger, push shift down to keep it proportionate. We just made it a little bit bigger. We took out, and then you could even put like an outline on this thing, and then it would really look like machinery, you know, like, so something to experiment with. If you like this font, this is called Almond, and this is called Aller Display. So those 2 actually work pretty well with the logo, I think. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you. Okay, good job.